The emotional side of investing is something people almost never talk about, but I think it may actually be one of the most important parts of the market because when people buy certain stocks, they're often buying much more than just numbers. They're buying identity. I know who I am. I'm someone who invests in, fill in your favorite stock. I know who I am. I'm a Taiwan semiconductor investor. I'm a Palantir person. I'm an Nvidia man, right? We do that. We buy identity. We buy belief. We buy hope. We buy possibility. We buy a vision of the future that we emotionally want to become real. I buy this stock today so that 30 days from now, 6 months from now, I'm hanging on to it. And that stock is going to make me money, but it's going to give me an identity. It's going to give me something I can talk to my friends about, right? This gets pretty deep, you know, and you would think, you can get up early, make the coffee, do your research the night before. I do that also to like get ahead in the morning. Let me get a leg up. So I'll do research the night before. It just depends on, your mood. Sometimes you just want to cook dinner and watch a little YouTube and, call it a night. But other times you got energy, so you're staying up and stay up late and research your favorite stocks and see what's happening for tomorrow. Try to get a leg up. So, that way you can wake up and 90% of your work's already been done. You already know kind of a general direction that you're going to take. But this bit about buying identity and then the emotional part of the market. What I think there's one stock that I think is really a pretty good example of this, and that's Plug, ticker symbol PLUG, Plug. And Plug is not just a stock. Plug represents an idea. It symbolizes an idea. It symbolizes future energy, hydrogen technology. That's different, right? Clean energy transformation. It symbolizes a possible future that many investors emotionally want to believe in. I believe in this company because they can really do it. And one of the fascinating things about investing psychology is this: the stronger the future narrative becomes, the more emotional the investment process can become. Because eventually people stop simply, analyzing and researching a company, and we emotionally attach ourselves to what a company represents. The company, the fact that I bought shares of it, becomes part of me, part of who I am, part of my identity. And I start to really believe in it. Like, this has to go. This stock has to take off. It's like when you root for a baseball team, football team, basketball. You know, it's like that. It's like, I don't watch it a lot, but my mind just flashed on like Indy 500. Somebody goes, I want this driver to win, and that he's my guy. That's my car, and he's driving a certain kind of a car, and he's going to beat the doors off everybody else. Just watch. So we emotionally attach ourselves to the whole process, and I think that's happened with Plug, with a lot of investors in Plug. I bought a pretty good chunk 3 days ago on a dip, and I'm happy I've got it because today it took off. And we're not only investing in revenue projections or quarterly numbers, we're investing in a possible future with Plug. And when us investors, when we emotionally connect to a future narrative, something powerful psychologically happens. Hope enters the investment, and hope can be very emotionally persuasive in markets, especially when we start to imagine, if Plug takes off, what could happen? Well, mass adoption by many businesses, people, different countries worldwide, industry transformation, huge future growth, or, getting in there early, put that word in quotes, before everybody else finally understands the story. And what makes Plug, to me, psychologically interesting is that it became highly emotional in both directions. There's been excitement, euphoria, hope, and then a lot of disappointment, fear, frustration, exhaustion, all of the above. That's all the emotions from A to Z. And this is something that many investors experience, the emotional cycle of future-oriented investing. Because, again, markets are not just mathematical systems. We're not just talking about numbers. If it was just numbers on paper, we wouldn't get hyped up or amped up about a holding. These are emotional systems. Fear moves markets, greed moves markets, hope moves markets, narrative moves markets. Something comes on the news and all of a sudden 30 seconds later, everybody's buying into it, So sometimes investors aren't only reacting to what exists today, but we react to what we emotionally believe the future might eventually become. And I think Plug's one of the clearest examples of that psychological process. So my name's Jack. If you're interested in the psychological side of investing and markets, my books are available now at jackcarterbooks.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.